Hello Arsenal fans and welcome to the GunnersForever video blog. As always, I'm Alan, sitting next to Sam and Aaron, and we're basically going to be talking about a few things today. We're going to pregame about Sunderland. We'll also be talking about the recent result with Blackburn. I'll also be talking about a few other things, including the English job, who's going to get it. Wenger's touted, maybe he might be taking over, we don't know. We'll also be talking about Frimpong's injury, and along with that, we'll also be talking about Oxlade-Chamberlain. The question is he ready for an English call-up? So let's get into it right now. And what do you guys think about the game?
Against Blackburn?
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty impressed. I was very impressed with the response of the players. And to be honest, I don't know about you guys, but I was taken by surprise with the starting lineup. I thought Wenger did a very good thing resting Ramsey, but at the same time playing Oxlade-Chamberlain, playing Robin van Persie, and at the end of the day, it paid off. It paid off very well. The only goal that Blackburn scored on us, I mean, amazing free kick. Nothing could have been done about it. It happens. 7-0 would have looked a lot better than 7-1, but still, 6-goal margin. Come on, you know?
What are your thoughts, Sam?
I mean, it was a great game. We definitely performed better than we've been performing lately. Two players that stood out were Robin van Persie and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Walcott did good, but I mean, he's an inconsistent player. You really never know what he's going to do on the pitch. I was very happy with Rosicky starting over Ramsey. I mean, Rosicky didn't have the best game. He did lose a ball on many occasions, but did perform better than Ramsey could have.
Definitely.
That's
one of the standout performers for me. Francis Coquelin did very well.
He did very well.
And I mean, given the fact that he was playing out of position too, wow. You know, not only was he playing well defensively, but he was getting forward a lot. He was participating in the passing play and keeping it going. And he did end up with one assist to Van Persie, and he created the first goal where he gave that pass to Walcott. I thought he did very well.
Yeah, definitely. Great performance all around. It was amid all the protesting and amid all the whole crisis situation that was going on. If you guys are reading our blogs, we talked about the whole trash bag protest that they were having over at the Emirates. To me, that this was the best response possible, scoring 7 goals and putting our team. You know what, we're not dead. We can still compete.
Yeah. And
it was the best possible thing that happened for us. There's not much to be said. Everyone played great.
Also, the man Henry scored again.
Henry does it again. He did it again. Walcott even had a pretty good performance in comparison to what he has been playing like in the past, and you have to respect that. Also Van Persie. Honestly, I think he was once again the man of the match.
Of course.
I think creating the goal, also getting on the score sheet 3 times. That's more than you can ask for. Played a great game. What do you guys think about the performance of the rest of the players?
Well, no one really stands out as an underperformer. Our defense didn't really have that much to do, so it was mostly about attacking for the fullbacks and for the center backs, just for the occasional attack, just keeping them under control. And I would say they did that quite well. The goal that they scored, you could say, okay, they didn't do their job. They let Blackburn get a little bit too close, and then, we ended up committing the foul to stop an attack. But at the end of the day, we played very well. To me, Oxlade-Chamberlain looked a little bit like Messi out there. I don't know. It just seemed like every time he was touching the ball,
he was creating something.
Yeah. But overall, one of the happier days of the season.
Definitely.
The best way I can put it.
Definitely. We needed this.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
Let's switch gears real quick and talk a little bit about the the new English boss. Capella resigned, and there's a lot of question who will take over. There's Harry Redknapp, of course, and there's also other names floating around, and Wenger's name is one of them. What are the chances of him taking over right now? I don't think it's very likely, but I do think had this been July or in the summertime, a lot of people would have a shoe in. Mourinho, of course, Wenger, the list goes on. Hitting. Yeah, names go on and on and on. What do you guys think about the whole situation?
Sam, you want to
I honestly don't know how I feel about Arsene Wenger going.
Mm.
I don't know if him leaving Arsenal at this point in the season is the best thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, in any fan's mind, it would create some sort of conflict because, especially after a 7-1 win against Blackburn, we just came off of our best performance of the season. Now, all of a sudden, the manager, who, me personally, I think might have been better served elsewhere, is being linked with the job for England. I mean, he could do very well there. I highly doubt that he wouldn't be successful, but I don't know. I think we should at least give him until the end of the season. He should give us until the end of the season before he decides to leave, especially since a lot of these players were bought by Wenger to be playing under Wenger. So you never know. Maybe Wenger leaves, and then Van Persie leaves. I don't know. It's a possibility.
That is a big possibility.
It's definitely going to create a morale problem in the team.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously Redknapp's also involved in all the talks, and it seems as if he is going. Now, if he does go, in my opinion, I think Tottenham, they're screwed. They're done. I don't see any of these players not only sticking around, but if they do go into the Champions League without him, who's going to lead them? Unless they get a high-profile coach that would replace him, I just can't see it working out. A lot of these players that he has bought, and Bale would have no problems leaving. Modric would have no problems leaving. It just adds more turmoil to the team. What do you guys think about that?
I think the big clubs are already in for those players and have been for quite some time. And if Harry Redknapp does leave, then I feel like Harry Redknapp has been the driving force to keeping them at the club. And if he does leave, they're probably going to jet out too. So, I mean, I think their reputation hasn't gotten big enough just yet for them to, go out and hire a big-name manager like a Jose Mourinho or someone like that. And that's good. I guess I think the football world still sees Tottenham as who they really are, a small club. So I'm not laughing. I don't know about you guys. Now I'm laughing.
Where they deserve to be.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
And you guys want to talk about what happened with Frimpong? If you haven't been keeping up, Manuel Frimpong was involved in a injury where he is sidelined for the rest of the season. I believe it's a torn ACL.
Something of the sort. ASL, MSL.
One of those SLs, whatever it is. Yeah. He's out for the season. Sam was talking about how these young players are getting these chances. Sam, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, if you guys remember on the last video blog, I said these young players go out in the EPL, get loaned out, try to prove themselves, especially someone like Frimpong, who we all know is a very rough player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be very, very unlikely for him to go out there, get loaned out, and not get injured. Because you guys saw him. He was in Wolves. He was playing ridiculous. He was playing great, but he was jumping into challenges. He jumped. I can't recall who the player was, but he jumped into defender's leg.
It was Van der Vaart when he the second minute. Clicked his
leg. I mean, I honestly expected it.
Yeah, he was begging for it almost.
Yeah. But it sucks for us. He's going to be a good player. I mean, but this problem is going to take a long time to get fixed.
I hope that it doesn't affect him in the long run when he comes back to the club. He's just not the same player. We see it all the time, especially at a young age.
Yeah.
It can be very, very devastating, especially a player like Frimpong, who has been more than ready for our team. He hasn't had too many problems in the past.
He's hungry.
And
hungry.
He's committed to the club.
Mm-hmm. He's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, he is.
He's not only a player, but an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. And we also want to talk about a little bit with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now, he looks like he will get the call up. I don't know, Capello's out, but I do think he's going to get the call up against the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him breaking onto the team for the Euros this season?
I think it's only a matter of time, and I think the Euros are going to be the perfect stage for him to show what he can do. And I don't doubt that he'd be a key player for that squad, because players like Oxlade-Chamberlain, in my lifetime at least, I haven't seen a British guy with that type of that type of style. You know, he reminds me so much of Messi in the sense that he gets the ball and he's always looking to do something positive. He's either taking on defenders, trying to give a nice incisive through ball, and we got a hint of his finishing ability in the last game. The first goal that he scored where he rounded Paul Robinson, I mean, that takes some natural composure and stuff to do.
Very calm and collective.
So, you know, all the key ingredients are there, and now with Wenger finally giving him the chance to blossom, we're seeing amazing results, and I don't think he would be much different with England. And plus, England's wing positions aren't the most set-in-stone positions. Yeah, sure, there's quality players like Ashley Young, Stuart Downing, Aaron Lennon, I guess. Adam Johnson, definitely. But none of those guys have really made one of the wing positions into their own. And I feel like Oxlade-Chamberlain has a greater chance than any of those guys to do just that.
Yeah, well, you know, adding on to what Aaron had to say, I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know about you, Sam. I'm kind of 50-50 with it because I just don't want him to get thrown into something like the Euros where it's like a high-level competition and, you know, either have his confidence crushed or physically get crushed or anything like that. That'll be, you know, really bad. I just don't want him to turn out like someone who Walcott. Walcott was introduced at a young age, came and, you know, I think he went. Did he not go to the 2006
World Cup?
He went to
the
2006 World Cup. He was like 16 years old, 17 years old, around there. You know, I just don't want the same thing happening to Chamberlain to a point where, you know, he feels like he's already done it all. I want him to continue to be hungry and to win. You know, how do you feel, Sam?
Chamberlain can compete at a level like Euros, but speaking in Arsenal's favor, man, let's just keep him in the club. I hope he doesn't get called up. We don't need any more injuries. I don't want him to go out there and get burnt out and tired. He can gain the experience he needs at our club. Hopefully in the future he probably will be on the national team.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't get called up so we won't risk any more injuries. And you know what I mean? I'm speaking in Arsenal's favor.
Yeah, if you're an English supporter, you definitely want him on the team.
Yeah,
There's no question about it. Yeah. And he's going to play during the summer whether we like it or not, whether it's going to be for the Olympic team or for the Euro team. Whatever he decides, he's still playing football this summer. So that's something else to consider. And let's switch gears again. Let's talk a little bit about the pre-match report for the Sunderland game that's kicking off this Saturday. Projected lineups, predicted score. What do you guys see in this match?
Sam, you want to handle
Sunderland, they're on a good run. I'm going to be talking about predictions. They're on a good run. They won 3 Premier League matches in a row. They had clean sheets in all of them. I think it was Swansea, Norwich, Stoke. They're doing good, but those teams are not Arsenal caliber teams. So they're definitely gonna get a run for their money in our match. So I'm predicting 2-0 Arsenal, and it should be easy points for us. I just hope a repeat of the Bolton game doesn't happen with us.
Yeah.
But I think if we play well, we perform like we did against Blackburn, we should take a game.
What are your thoughts, Aaron?
Well, with Sunderland, one of their key players is going to be out, and that's going to be Bentner, and that's obviously because since he's on loan, he can't play against us. But we're not quite out of the woods yet. Stefan Sessegnon is quite the player, and he is their main creative threat. If there's one guy that I think could cause some damage, it's him. He can dribble past 2 or 3 players and give a killer through ball. He can dribble past 2 or 3 players and deliver insane cross to whoever it may be. It'll probably be Connor Wickham or somebody like that. So I would say that there's more of a threat with Sunderland than with most of the other teams that we've been playing against, like Blackburn, Bolton, and it's scary, but our quality should be able to see us off, especially if our defense holds firm and Song does a good job at either man-marking Sessegnon straight up or just trying his hardest to keep him contained in like a zone pattern where he'll always be in a position to cover for whoever Sessegnon's coming at. So as long as we contain Sessegnon and we manage to break through their defense 1 or 2 times, and I don't think it should be that hard. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we should be fine as well. As long as, granted the defense plays, to the best of their abilities, like you said. I honestly think that, Martin O'Neill has done a great job at Sunderland, keeping everything in check. He does, he has had a knack for putting out really good squads against us. I don't know if you guys remember, a few years back when he was coaching Aston Villa, all these other teams. These teams were those teams that we had problems with, and we were threatened by. And, Sunderland's slowly turning into a team like that. But I think if our defense plays hard and we get some early goals, it's game over.
Take the game,
yeah. One other thing, ever since Martin O'Neill took over, you reminded me actually, there's been one player for Sunderland that's been stepping his game up and constantly threatening opposing defenses. That's McLean, the left winger. And if you're not familiar with him, he is a very prototypical dribble down the left flank and deliver a good ball in type of winger. And sometimes he doesn't go all the way to the byline and deliver it.
Cross.
Yeah, sometimes he will deliver it early from the edge of the box. But normally I would say he would be a threat to us, especially a couple of weeks back when we were starting Giroud at right back. But if Sonia's back to form, it's not going to be that big of an issue. Even though McLean, not only is he pretty fast, he's also a pretty big dude, So he might be able to outmuscle Sonia and try to deliver in balls from very tight angles, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the Sonia, what's going to be the starting 11 on Saturday? What do you think, Sam?
Szczesny in goal. We got Sonia, Mertesacker, Koscielny. We got Vermaelen probably again playing on the left.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna bring Ramsey back in. Arteta. Song,
of course.
Song. Then we're gonna get Walcott, Chamberlain, and Van Persie. I don't think he's gonna change anything. I think Wenger's gonna want to be consistent with collecting these points. I mean, there were talks about him, not playing Van Persie and resting him, and Chamberlain as well. But, I mean, he put the full team out there, and we got a great result. I think he's going to want to keep doing that. I would if I was Wenger.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole starting 11 situation, I think, is, very similar to that. But I do think in this game especially, Ramsey will get the start.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Not to destroy his confidence. I think he'll be back in the squad. But I also think... I'm thinking that either Theo Walcott or Oxlade-Chamberlain sit out. I really think that.
I haven't been keeping up with the African Cup of Nations, but it was getting into its later stages, right?
If you guys also missed it, Gervinho did score a goal today and fire them into the African Nations Cup final.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was
the semi-final, okay. Yeah, because I saw that result too. It was against Mali, I think, yeah.
So they are in the final, and
so Gervinho probably won't be back in time. No chance.
Best of luck to him. Hope that he can do wonders for Ivory Coast and come back to us.
With a winning mentality.
Yeah, with a winning mentality.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hope you enjoyed it. You guys have anything else to cover? Nothing? That's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. As usual, keep up with us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Like us. We always try to talk to you guys as well. Send us your questions, talking points. Anything you guys want to talk about, we'll talk to you guys. And until next time, I'm Alan, and this is Sam and Aaron, signing off.